Hello, hello, my Stitchy friends. Welcome back. My name is Laura. You found Lala D Stitches, and I'm so glad you're here with me. A little fuzzy today. It's been busy. Today is the day before Thanksgiving for the States, and as with many people, I have spent my day in the kitchen. But I am all prepped and ready for tomorrow, so hopefully hopefully cooking will go smoothly, and it will just be an easier day. I'm not a big fan of pumpkin pie. I like it just fine. It's just not like my favorite thing, and I have made it for years. And finally this year I decided it's my house and I'm doing all the cooking, so I can make what I want. And that was pretty liberating. I'm making a pumpkin cheesecake instead, and fingers crossed everything turns out well. I've never made a cheesecake before, but you know, I'm a competent baker. It should be fine, right? It should be fine. It's gonna be fine. It definitely required an emergency trip to the store because I didn't have a large enough pan to give it its water bath, and anyways, but that's okay. Crisis averted. There's the most amazing cloud out here right now. It's very dynamic. It's beautiful. It's been a beautiful day. Yesterday we had snow, which has lingered today, and there was the most spectacular sunrise on the mountain. It was so beautiful. It's been so beautiful. I love the snow. I'm so excited to live somewhere where there is snow. Yeah, anyways, here we are. I have lots to share. Well, I have a little bit to share. Well, I have a lot to share. I have a lot, but a little. A little bit, a lot. It's going to be a pretty quick episode. It's later in the day, and I'm tired. But I got this all prepped this morning before I started cooking, and because I really wanted to show my autumn Thanksgiving stitching before I dove into holiday Christmas stitching, and I will be doing that tomorrow. So so today was the day for the video. Otherwise there would have been an overlap, and that just didn't work for my brain. So here we are. Let's dive in. But first, before we get to my autumn stitching, I have been on a fully finishing palooza. Like, it's been an extravaganza. So I have a couple of old projects I want to share with you, and then I have my fully finished things, and then I have a finish, and then I have my whips. So a full showcase today. It should be fun. I'll start with these. This is a very old embroidery I made for my grandma. So both of my grandparents have passed at this point, and they were wonderful, wonderful people, and they were very special. I mean, everybody's grandparents are special to them, but so as with so many people, they hold a very special place in my heart, and I actually wound up living with them for a couple years after high school when my family moved to Alaska. And anyways, so I had some wonderful time with them. But when I was younger and just getting into embroidery and stuff, I think there's even a no, it's probably paint. Anyways, I made this old embroidery. Here, I'll put on that side. There we go. I don't even know what the pattern is, but my mother, so she was in town 2 weeks ago on a way home from Eastern Washington, where my grandfather's storage unit was, and she and her brothers spent a week clearing that out and sorting, and they found a couple of my projects. So this is one of them. This sat on my grandma's wall. I don't think she even took it down seasonally. She just always had it up, bless her. And you know, it's very simple, but the early days. Everybody starts somewhere, right? Early days of embroidery. This is just a running stitch, and I used crayon to color it in on some muslin, and then I painted the stars on the frame. It's pretty cute. Anyway, so it was fun to get that back. And then I was really excited to get this back. This was my first, I'll call it my first grown-up cross stitch that I did. I learned cross stitch, I don't even know how old I was. I was a child, but we got ornaments in our stockings every year from Santa. And so I know I learned to cross stitch specifically very young, at least in those. And I did a couple of other projects, but let's see, when did I finish this one? There's not actually a date on it. Okay, I'll share a fun picture with you. So this is the back. I was big into scrapbooking when I made this. That's my beautiful grandparents. And I got free, I won a raffle for free, like, old time pictures. And I got my grandparents to do it. Grandma was super willing. Grandpa, he was very reserved gentleman, and this was not his thing, but he came and went, and I love these pictures. Anyway, so that's the back, and this is one of my first grown-up cross stitches, if you will. It's a Paul Yvonne, and I don't remember the name of the chart, but I did it micro-sized because I had young, youthful, healthy eyes, and it's 1/1 on 28 count. So the stitches are 28 count. So tiny. But it creates such a lovely, seamless finish. You really just see the picture, not the stitches, which are micro-sized. Anyways, I'm so excited to have this one back. We thought it was gone, honestly. My grandparents moved right before my grandmother passed, and that's when everything went into the storage unit. And it never came out after that. And so I didn't know if I'd ever see it again. It was just a fond memory. But here it is. Pretty wonderful. So, okay. So those are the sentimental ones. And then, as I said, I've been doing fully finishes. So I had a couple ornaments that I stitched up over the last couple years that I stabilized. Well, actually, it feels like a little piece of batting. And then I put some ribbon in and turned it inside out. So this was an old kit. I don't know what it is. It's just old. Super cute, though. And then another stocking. This is part of the Quaker series, Quirky Quakers, I want to say. And I omitted, there's another section of stitching between all those, but I didn't want that, so I just did the trees, and this was last year's ornament, obviously. Is that a string? Nope, it's just a thicker fiber in the, hold still. Sorry. So, very fun. And this is the biggest ornament I've ever made. And I wasn't originally planning to finish it as an ornament. And in fact, it's a fairly chunky, and by chunky, I mean not smooth curves. It was not my best curves moment. But this is I want to say hands-on design. Let's flamingle or something like that. Flamingo bells. It does have a phrase underneath here that I omitted. It's so cute. I love the candy cane socks. Anyways, I don't normally put ornaments this big on my tree, but we'll see how it works. And if it feels too big, then I'll just like stick a pin in the wall and hang it. Or I'll bring it up here and hang it somewhere. I think it's so cute. I love it. I love the hanging bells, and it's a real fun quick stitch. I'm fairly confident. It's been probably 5 years since I did this one. But I'm pretty sure I used the called for. Don't quote me on that. Okay, next finish I did as a pillow. This is a pattern that was released last year by my friend Lisa. So her handle is Lost in Stitches. She has a Flosstube, and then this is available in her Etsy shop. So I did it on a 14 count Aida, and I did switch out this color for the red, I think. It's a Cosmo floss. I just wanted a real subtle variegation, just for fun. And then I just had a fun scrap of fabric to make it into a pillow. So that once I switch out, sorry, children outside. Once I switch out for Christmas, this will be behind me because it goes in my bright room. I kind of have two themes of Christmas going for my home right now. I'm fairly traditional in my public spaces, but then in my studio, I've decided to go a little bit more modern and bright, and then I can kind of introduce that fun pink and red, and you know, some of these aqua colors, and that's been really fun because it's opened up patterns that otherwise wouldn't have been very cohesive with my other decor that I've kind of gathered for the last decade and a half. Okay. I do not remember the name of this pattern. I do not remember the name of it. And most of these I don't have the information for, I'm sorry. But I know I made this when we lived in Oregon. So that would have been around 4 or 5 years ago. So pretty. And I wound up, he's crooked. Oh no, that's gonna bother me. Oh no. I didn't notice until right now. He's just ever so slightly. Oh, nuts. I was really focused on the sleigh, trying to get that even, but it must have pulled a little bit down when I was stringing it or threading it. I don't know what it's called. And it looks like my letters go ever so slightly crooked. We're gonna blame it on the fabric because there's not much I can do about it at this point. Anyways, it was really fun to stitch. I remember really enjoying it. The year I did that, I just sat on my couch by the tree and stitched it, and it was delightful. Anyways, but I wound up leaving something off of it. I don't remember what. And that made it so that I had way more fabric up top than on the bottom, because I didn't decide to do that until later. So actually finishing this was an interesting game because there was far less material down here to wrap under. There was enough, but kind of an adventure. Oh, but I love it anyways. Even if he's crooked and funky, it's just his little personality. Anyways, he'll go downstairs. He's so pretty. It's so fun to have him done. Okay, next one. I stitched this one last year. This is a Brenda Gervais. So with the needle and thread. I don't remember what the name of the series is. There are multiples of this, and I would love to stitch them all because it was just so much fun. It was so much fun. So I went digging in my stash and I found this ancient, beautiful, subtle fig tree fabric. It was actually, I had a few other pieces auditioned with it, and it was a struggle to find fabric to go with this because everything I had initially pulled really overpowered the design, and I didn't want that. And I knew I wanted to finish it as a pillow because I did it on this, I don't remember what this fabric is called. It's got that beautiful fleck in it. Is it fiddler's cloth? I don't know. But I love it. I wish I had more of it. I think I've used up all my scraps of it now. But the stitches just look so even and tidy and plush. Delightful stitch. Anyways, I had enough to kind of hodgepodge back on. And yeah, there we go. So this will go down in my reading chair. Because if it goes on the couch, my sweet husband, he is the professional pillow squisher, and he will squish this pillow, and I don't want that. So if I put it on the reading chair, it won't get squished because I'm the one who sits there. Anyways, I love it. I love how it turned out. Even the color of the red wound up matching. This is like chili pepper, I want to say, and it's a very orange red, but I love it. Anyways, yay! It's so fun to finish these. And so I've been resisting putting up Christmas. I have 9 neighbors now. It's been this gradual growth over the last 3 weeks of neighbors with Christmas lights out. Some of them are like actual outdoor lights, and others are trees that they're sort of keeping under wraps, but you see them at certain times. It's so cute. And my 2 neighbors directly across from me have like full outdoor displays going, and it's been torture to not join them. But because I'm hosting Thanksgiving, I wanted to keep it feeling like fall until the event was over. So it's been fun and enjoyable to both watch my neighbors put things up because I can live vicariously, but then also finishing some Christmas projects, not stitching them, but fully finishing them, kind of gave me another outlet for my seasonal wishes. This was Lindy Stitch's, I think it's called Peppermint Candy, and it was a Jingle Ball exclusive. I don't remember if it was last year or the year before that. I don't remember. Anyways, also so much fun because each little image is a little finish, right? Like, I love this little cake. I love the goose with the star. The flying reindeer is so iconically Lindy Stitches. Some people that are getting ready for Jingle Ball right now are doing those little stockings that she released. She's doing a class on the finishing, and they have these little reindeer, similar reindeer on them. They're so fun. Love the snow guy. I mean, it's just charming. It's so much fun. It was so much fun to stitch, and it's on this very soft pink spotted fabric that I want to say I got on, what's it called? Satsuma Street's site. Is it Modern? I don't remember. I've had it for years. I also stitched a Satsuma Street project on this fabric, an Easter project, so it was fun to use it again. Anyways, I have not put the backing on this. Don't judge my wrinkles. This is actually a frame I commandeered from something else because the back was falling apart. I couldn't hang it anymore. It was just cardboard. And I think if I just put some paper over this, like glue it down, it'll be great. And it's a wooden frame, so I can actually put in, I have some hanger attachments, so. But for this year, for now, I have an easel, and I think I'll just set it on that because that's easy, and then it's done. I don't have to think about it. Anyways, love it. So much fun. Ooh, that's cute. Okay, I can't leave it there though. It's the window. I have to close the window at some point. I am realizing as I approach floppier things that I don't have a board. So, you okay, Grace? Hi, baby. You're a pretty girl. Do I find a board or do I use this? That'd work, right? It's my little list thing, but I don't know. We'll see if we can make it work. Okay, so now we're to stitching, real stitching. These were all things I stitched previously or long ago. And so my only finish is, oh, it's getting so dark now. That's okay though. Barbara Anna Four Seasons. It has been 3 years in the making. I believe I started this, well, I know exactly where I started this. I've just got to pinpoint the year. 2021. It was 2021 because it was our first vacation after the pandemic, which was predominantly camping, but then we stayed 2 nights in a beautiful resort in Tahoe, or in the mountains just above Tahoe rather. And that's where I started this, and I finished winter last year and spring. Maybe spring was done. Anyways, whatever. I don't remember the order, but I just finished fall, autumn, and so now all 4 seasons are done. And I'll have to go order her a frame, something custom, because it is kind of a funky size. I do think I want to frame it rather than doing a soft finish. I may change my mind on that, but I think, well, we'll see. We'll see. Right now I'm thinking I want a frame. And that will go in this room, which will be really fun. That was kind of always my intention, is this would be a studio piece. So, yay! Goal accomplished. Kicking butt and taking names here. It's pretty exciting. Okay, so scoot these closer. Whips. Let's talk whips. So, first thing I worked on, though not a ton, got a lot of glare. Sorry. Oh, Butterfingers. Oh, did you find your rue? Autumn ABCs by Little House Needleworks. Are you playing? I'm sorry if you guys can hear that. The wrinkles, she's found her toy. Are you playing? You silly girl. Okay. It's the time of day where she wants sustenance, but she has to wait. Okay, I'm stitching this on 28 count fresco by Picture This Plus. And as I said, I didn't do a ton, but I did do the house, the apples, and I think the only things I'm missing are the center and then the door fill in. And the lighting's gonna be a bit funky tonight just because it is darker. Don't have that natural light to kind of give true colors, but it was fun. I really enjoyed it. I mean, I'm really enjoying this series. I would like to do them all. I was originally thinking I would do winter here, but I've decided to do winter on a different fabric, and I'll do spring on this one. I think that will work out better. And yeah, so I got the house, and then I just kind of lost my enthusiasm for it. And you know, it's a busy month, and company and all sorts of other things just had me go in different directions with my stitching. So the next one, again, I did very little on, is Cinnamon Stars. And I don't have any before pictures because this is a little more spontaneous than I normally do my videos. But I think I had finished oh, here, I can just use the project bag. That'll work. Here we go. So I had finished, I want to say I had just finished this center portion of the house. I added in part of the star and then the first mortar of rock wall. There's an identical or relatively similar rock wall on this side of the house. And yeah, so it's lovely. It's very fun to stitch. I'm stitching this on, I want to say it's called Prairie Grass. Yes, Prairie Grass from Seraphim Hand Dyed Fabrics. It's a 36 count. I'm stitching 1/2. 1/2, yes. it was fun to get a little bit of that cinnamon in there. After I finished the white, I really wanted to get that pop just to kind of see the contrast, because right now it's fairly blendy. It shows better in, oh, that's a good angle actually. It does show, but I know that it will show better once it's surrounded by a roof and everything. So giving that little star there just gave some contrast and gave a bit more life to it. Kind of saw the potential of what it will be more at that point. So that was fun. Again, I probably worked on it a couple of evenings. But my heart was with other projects. So now we start getting into the ones that really got a lot more attention. They were just more comfortable or more inspiring or more something. I don't know. Feast of Friendship by Blackbird Designs. I love, love, love it. I started it last November, and this is where we sit. See how I can hold it. There we go. So I filled in the white vessel here, and then I did what is there of the roof. That none of that was there. And then I've added in, I don't think I added any of that blue, but all of this upper work and the words are new this year. So I feel like that's good progress. You know, I made a concerted effort. I want to say I got 5 or 6 days, 4 or 5 days, something like that. The roof was really fun to do. There's still this last color to add in, but it's just something about that checkerboard, but with the variegation in the floss and those lovely spicy colors. It was very satisfying and very meditative. I don't know, there's something calming about the structure of it. I love it. I love it. I'm really excited to work on this more. And one of my goals this year was to kind of do a bulk of the fill-in, because I know that doing the fruits in here and then there's little motifs that kind of float through the background. Those will be really fun and they'll go really fast. It is exciting. The house actually is a lot more fun than I thought it would be. Not as much of a slog, but there are a lot of stitches in it. It's a lot of work. So kind of tackling those first and then going to the fun things, I think will help it see a finish faster. Okay, so the next one is Autumn is as Joyful by Lila Studio. This is a part of a SAL with Samantha the Huga Stitcher. It's the hashtag is Autumn is as Joyful. Sal, I think. Anyways, I have recharted. I showed in my last video that I recharted the phrase in there, and I knew that if I did nothing else this year on it until I pull it out again, because I'm a seasonal stitcher typically, I wanted to get the phrase in. So here it looks. Here it is. I added our acorn shape here, the phrase. I've got my first 2 stars and the beginnings of my first house in the village. And again, I apologize for the lighting. It's a bit yellow, but it's actually showing the fabric really nicely. Ironically enough, normally it's the fabric that washes out. Anyway, so it says, if a year was tucked inside a clock, then autumn would be the magic hour. Also, reading backwards is an adventure. But I'm really happy with how it turned out. I'm grateful that it looks good. I definitely had some trepidation about it, but I'm really happy with it. And as I mentioned before, the stars had to be a little bit squished in, but the village scene down below is exactly where it originally charted. So now that I have the stars in, I know that everything else is just as was designed by Lila Studio, so it should be a smooth ride from here. Anyways, I'm stitching this 1/2 on 36 count Dunes by Fiber on a Whim. Love it. I love this project. I wish I had been more in a tiny stitches mood this month. In October, I was loving the tiny stitches, and something about November, by the time I got it out, I typically felt very tired, and I just struggled with it a little bit more. But I still made good progress on that. I did exactly what I had hoped I would do, and it's all fun from here. Oh my gosh, this is such a gorgeous project. It's so gorgeous. Autumn might have to start in August next year. I might have to restructure how I stitch. Okay, the last one I worked on is County Fair. Gotta glare, it's a real photograph. There we go. County Fair by Lavender and Lace. She is so beautiful. And she's even more beautiful stitched. Oh my gosh, this is so typical with Lavender and Lace. I know I say this every time I start one of their projects and get some like considerable stitches in. The first couple hundred stitches in any kind of fancy lady or, you know, figure like this, they're pretty boring because there's a lot of shading and building into, oh my goodness, I am just a mess. Building into what she will be. And this is my image. Like, it's a very dark, tiny, I mean, it's good, but it's tiny image. So getting the stitches in has been a bit of magic because it's coming to life. I'm stitching this on 28 count Vintage Country Mocha. I knew it would come. I knew it would come. Just a tired brain. Anyways, here she is. Oh my gosh. Oh, I love her so much. So I have filled in her sleeves almost completely. I think I'm missing the one stitch there. I've almost completed the top half of her apron. There's one more color to go in, and it's a little bit, there's a couple of like accent spots up through the ruffle. And then, I mean, I did all of this. This is all new. So the tablecloth, the beginnings of our bounty here on the table. I stitched down to get the shape and size of her skirt, and I think I will ultimately outline that so that it's just fill-in, because it's just one color. There's one little kind of darker shading for the ruffle right in here. So if I stitch that in, that defines the other side. Super easy. And then I started on her shawl, which, I mean, you can see in the picture, it's not like it's not there, but you don't see a lot of detail. A lot of detail on it, even in person. I did not realize it's going to be this gorgeous plaid with reds and greens, and it's just so beautiful. She's so beautiful. Oh. And if I didn't have a couple of like large scale intensive Santas already on the go that will have a similar feeling, I would be tempted to keep her out through Christmas, because she's, frankly, you know, I kind of labeled her as an autumn project because the name is County Fair, and that just makes me think of September through November times when the fairs fall. But with her shawl and everything, at least at this point, she has a very Christmassy vibe. Anyways, that's kind of a good thing though, because when she is complete and framed, that means I can put her up in September and keep her out the rest of the year. She'll fit right in. So she's gorgeous. I'm loving working on her. It's just such detailed, beautiful stitching. It takes a little focus. The pattern is handwritten, and which I have a lot more respect for after having recharted the phrase in Autumn is Joyful. But it does take, but because of the shading and all the different colors in there, oh hi Grace, there is a bit more focus required to follow the charting, but So rewarding, so satisfying. I mean, she's gonna be a stunner. She's gonna be a looker. And that's what I stitched. It was really the 5 projects. I really stayed pretty focused for the last few weeks, which felt really good. Made a lot of progress. It was good. Going into Christmas stitching, I would normally take a little bit to show you kind of my plans and intentions, but my sister requested that we do a Christmas parade together. So my next video will be with her, and we will talk all things Christmas holiday stitching, which will be super fun. And I thought it was so sweet that she wanted to come back and share her work with you guys. So look forward to that. Next week is the Jingle Ball, but really next week or the week after are really the kind of window, I think, for us to film that before things get busy. And then I always take the last 2 weeks off of social media so I can just be with family and relax and enjoy the season. And yeah, so sometime in the next 2 weeks we'll do the Christmas parade, and then I will do also, I don't know if I will film it separately, but like tag it on, like edit it into the same video, or if I'll do a separate video for my braid for my quilting bee, because I've so much, it's so hard to not show you what I've done. It's so hard. I mean, to be fair, this is one of them. I mean, this required the sewing machine, but it's cross stitch. So but I've been doing a lot of things. Okay, well, I finished some big things. Let's just put it that way. Anyways, it'll be fun. That'll be coming too. Maybe I'll do it in a separate video. That way, those who aren't interested aren't tagged into it, I guess. I don't know. I'm rambling. I'm going to go check on my cheesecake. I hope everybody is well. I hope, you know, holidays, they're so good and they're so complicated. They can be so hard. But I hope you're well. I hope you're taking care of yourself, taking care of your mental health, setting boundaries if you need to, enjoying family. I am so grateful. This is the first Thanksgiving. I was actually just telling my friend this. This is the first Thanksgiving that I will have had with family, that we, my husband and I, will have had with family, I want to say, in 4 years. I think it's been 4 years. Life has just had everybody apart. And Christmas this year will be very special because it will be the first time my kind of nucleus family, the family I grew up with, my mom, my dad, my sister, and I, and then our families, have been together for Christmas in 5 or 6 years. It's been a while. I think it's been since I lived in Oregon. So it's been a long time. Anyways, it's going to be really nice. It's going to be really nice. So that's Christmas. Tomorrow is just my sister and her family coming over. So it'll be very chill. There will be lots of food, more food than we need. We'll be eating leftovers for the rest of the year. But anyways, I hope you're well. I hope you're stitching something lovely and inspiring and fun. And I will be back. I'll be back soon. Yes, soon. So take care. Happy Thanksgiving for those in the States celebrating. And to all, happy stitching.